10 most feared creatures.
Welcome to Damn Nature, You Scary Saturdays.
Number 10. Greater white shark. We know that great white sharks have had their run-ins with humans, but what happens when the deadly big fish have run-ins with their own kind? Such an incident was reported off South Australia's Neptune Islands in 2014 when two great whites were competing for bait from the same boat. In these photos taken by diver Adam Malski, you can see the two animals clashing with each other, although it really wasn't much of a contest. The first shark to eat the bait off the side of the boat measured around 2.6 meters. That's when the second shark, double that size, arrived on the scene. The bigger shark, known to locals as Gilbert, rose out of the water and sank his teeth into the smaller victim, pulling it below the waves. While Gilbert has been seen in waters around Neptune Islands, the smaller shark hasn't been seen since. Could be it's sleeping with the fishes. Number 9. Arctic wolves. These animals certainly rate a spot on the list for being a feared creature, and it is known to act aggressively toward humans. So what's the story with these photos from Reuters? You can see Arctic wolves seemingly feeding on a human being. Well, the man is Werner Freund, and he's known as something of a wolf man. Freund maintains a 25-acre sanctuary in Germany called Wolfspark Werner Freund, where he has raised more than 70 wolves since 1972, including wolves from Siberian, Canadian, and Mongolian regions. But the Arctic wolves seem to stand out from the rest of the pack. The ex-paratrooper feeds with the wolves, allowing the animals to eat raw meat that he holds in his mouth. Freund says he maintains alpha male status among the animals by always being the first to feed, sometimes snacking on a deer's carcass or some such morsels. That way, the animals never forget who's the boss. Number 8. Zebras. Not exactly the first animal that springs to mind as a feared creature per se, but what about this zebra? Chasing after Kenyan park rangers at Marula Park, located west of Nairobi. Well, while this photo does depict the animal on something of a rampage, it's all part of an effort coordinated by the rangers to maneuver the zebra into a trap. In 2007, the Kenya Wildlife Service started moving around 2,000 animals, including zebras and impalas, to a game reserve that was devastated by poaching. Just wanted to make sure you're paying attention there. Number 7. Monkey business. In 2008, the Daily Mail reported a story of 3 monkeys who decided they weren't going to take it anymore. Performing in a market area of Suzhou in eastern China, the monkey's trainer beat one of them with a stick when it refused to ride on a child's bicycle seat. But the monkey's 2 compatriots grabbed the trainer's stick and started biting his head. The monkey who grabbed the cane beat the trainer's head with it until the stick broke, and you can see a bit of the action here in some pictures from Europix. The trainer told his audience that the monkeys may have built up some feelings of hatred toward him. What gave it away? Number 6. A lot of bull. This Portuguese bullfighter got an unexpected ride by an enraged bull, as you can see from this picture. Tiago Ribeiro, along with some fellow bullfighters, were attacked in Lisbon's Campo Pequeno arena during an exhibition in 2006. Details of the attack are a bit murky, but we can be sure the bull wasn't upset by a red cape, unless it was moving, because of course bulls are agitated by the cape's motion, not the color itself. Bulls, like all cattle, are actually colorblind to red. Number 5. Leopard attack. In 2011, a stray leopard attacked several villages in Prakash Nagar, India, along with at least 4 guards, including the unlucky guy in the picture from the AP here. He was injured, but did survive the ordeal. The leopard, however, wasn't so lucky. The animal was caught by forest officials and died at a veterinary center that evening from injuries sustained from batons and knives. Number 4. Swimming with sharks. Earlier, we saw sharks going after each other. And here's a picture from the World Surf League of a shark going after a human. And it just looks like bad news, doesn't it? The human is Mick Fanning, a surfing star from Australia. In 2015, he was engaged in a surfing competition in South Africa when this unidentified species of shark knocked him off his board when it surfaced. Fanning punched and kicked at the animal and managed to escape without injury. After 2 more sharks were spotted in the vicinity, organizers canceled the rest of the event. South Africa is known to have some of the world's most shark-infested waters. Number 3. Yet another elephant rampage. Kerala in southern India has seen its share of elephants going on rampages, to be sure. In February 2016, another perturbed pachyderm took to the streets of Kerala, laying waste to motorbikes, trucks, and pretty much any vehicle that got in its way. A video of the animal's rampage went viral, and you can see it on YouTube. Amazingly, 2 mahouts, or elephant handlers, managed to hang on to the creature for dear life as the destruction ensued. In all, the elephant destroyed 27 vehicles. Thankfully, though, no injuries were reported. But what upset the huge creature so badly? Apparently, another elephant collided with it from behind, triggering the rampage. Well, nobody likes to be rear-ended, do they? Number 2. Golden eagles. They're among the most famous birds of prey. Some incredible pictures by Israeli wildlife photographer Vladimir Kogan, taken in the mountains of Finland, show that the birds can be as deadly to one another as they are to their prey. Kogan documented a struggle between 2 golden eagles, one male, one female. After making the mistake of venturing into the female's territory, the male was attacked by the female, who flew straight at him and sent him tumbling to the snow. The battle raged for some 8 minutes, during which the female repeatedly swooped and crashed into the intruder. What made the battle unusual is that females aren't usually known to be the aggressor in the wild. One reason for the behavior is that a long, cold spell had gripped the area, forcing the birds to reserve energy by resting their wings. Unable to hunt, it's likely that the increasing hunger, along with their famous short tempers, may have caused these 2 golden eagles to become even more aggressive than normal. Number 1. Stag attack. In 2011, a visitor to Bushy Park in London was chased by a stag, or male deer, that knocked her to the ground. The woman was part of a group observing a trio of rutting stags compete with one another in a mating ritual when the incident occurred. Some truly scary images were caught by photographer Robert Piper, who ended up being something of a hero. Stags are in rut during the breeding season that usually lasts from late September to late October. The animals are known to rub their antlers against trees and shrubs and fight with each other during the rut. In this case, the 3 deer were bellowing and charging each other when one turned especially aggressive and suddenly charged one of the onlookers, as mentioned, and knocked her to the ground. Regaining her feet, the animal charged yet again, but the woman managed to hide behind a tree. When the stag wouldn't budge, Mr. Piper, the photographer, began shouting and waving his arms, distracting the animal long enough for the woman to escape. While quite shaken up by the incident, she was able to walk away unharmed.
See you next week on Damn Nature, You Scary Saturdays.